see, because usually we see that happening from the Brazilian team. Yes, I mean, Loud has been amazing. Loud has been a very powerful, but then again, it is the time for the Southeast Asian to really show the world what they are made of, and that's exactly what they've been doing. I mean, I'm so proud to see my boys killing it out there.
Yeah, I love that. Can I tell you a little bit of a story? And this was actually back to match number 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you guys back just a little bit here, but that is none other than Young Dynasty and Banal, okay? I don't know if you saw me get out of my seat for this part, but they were making sort of a swift recovery, and then Banal pulls out the monster truck, and you kind of think that all fails and it's going to end there, but no, they sort of take that smooth transition to make that recovery, and the mechanical skill that Banal has. I don't know if you saw me get out of my seat for this part, but they were making sort of a swift recovery, and then Banal pulls out the monster truck, and you kind of think that all fails and it's going to end there, but no, they sort of take that smooth transition to make that that Banal has for his team. And obviously we got the replay, but they took this opportunity early to sort of maximise their eliminations, and I think they actually pulled up 17 elims in that first match. And what that obviously does for this team, and it sets them in a standard that is above and beyond the rest. Currently sitting more in the middle of the leaderboard, you know, against our Louds and our AGLs, but that first match is something that I feel like these other teams need to follow suit, because consider me and colour me impressed, because I'm a Banal fan now. I don't know about you.
Well, same here, because you know what they say, right? The first match usually sets the tone, and that's exactly what they did. It was so amazing to see and so refreshing to see Banal. I mean, I said I just found a new love, and I think I felt it too. But then again, looking at the overall standing, AGAL, oh my God, 109 points, 70 elimination points. That is so amazing, and that is something that I'm so excited to see at the opening of EWC 2026. And of course, if we're talking about the top 5, we have Buriram United Esports, as well as EFOS, Dynasty, and Loud Stickers. That is, oh my God, that is what I expected and more.
Well, I know we're super excited here. I hope you guys are super excited at home, because we're heading into our next match. Take it away, casters.
Man, I tell you, the day has been looking super solid But I did not expect only a handful of teams to walk away from Kalahari with double-digit eliminations. But what happened was the teams that did walk away with a double-digit elimination, which by the way was only 4 squads,
Yeah.
walked away with a ton of points, right? We're talking about 23 eliminations from Buriram. AGAL walked away with a total of 19 eliminations. GD with the 15 and Loud walking it with just 10. Yeah, but that's still quite a lot for the squad because they're obviously looking to maintain their dominance on the leaderboard and you're looking for the top 4 spots. But even with 2 Booyahs, it's surprising how Loud is still behind GD. Gun Dynasty has been amazing today.
I saw really good, no problem.
No, Booyah, no problem at all. At least on stage 1. But as we spot out the map here, it looks like finally we get some discipline. We get some quiet out there. We are back on Nextera, baby. And Nextera is the most number of eliminations from the day. 121 eliminations earlier on at Nextera just to light up the battlefield. And I talked about how we kind of were lacking through these eliminations on of the teams, but still it was the second highest with 102 eliminations. So I think some of these teams are definitely warming up, to say the least.
It's always very fun to see these things happening. And again, you know, how aggressive these maps have been. In the show just now, you said that some of these maps can go a bit faster. And that's how fast we're going right now. As Jazzy does get one quickly. Ray rushes forward. Top is barely alive right now. I'm not too sure how much longer he can survive here. Ray does put his shot first out here. But finally, in the end, does go down. And the points being stolen away by EVOS here. Starting off real hot as Jazzy crosses the peripherals of the rest of EVOS. And you cannot get away by trying to play like that against them.
Demon's Pride, getting their pride crushed out there. But they were not too arrogant to begin with. They were humble enough to acknowledge that this was going to be a very big stage, a massive challenge for them, for their region. But they're giving it their best. Their best so far hasn't been good enough. We did see a little bit of recovery play from Demon's Pride on the Kalahari match, and that has been their best game of the day, where they scored 10 points. The rest of those matches were way lower than that. That's exactly what's keeping them at the very bottom of the leaderboard. But thankfully, they've got 6 more games to look forward to tomorrow, and a lot of these mistakes to recover from.
Yeah, EVOS is still on it as well, chasing the last few members of VP here. So Madara instantly brought back into the game. Yes, but you're just giving up so many points to EVOS right now. But also at the same time, we were looking at GD for quite some time. We're seeing how aggressive they are. EX is going to go down eventually by them.
Absolutely, and EVOS picking up elimination number 5. All thanks to Aim God and his thirst for a few extra elimination points. Jazzy out all alone. He's protecting no compound whatsoever. Madara's just dropping right behind him, and they're just going to be hoping and praying that EVOS does not go out hunting. And thankfully, EVOS looks the other way. They walk away from the potential point. But DRS out early, though. This is not what I was expecting, but Aurora picking off the solid 4 points from the Nepali squad.
Yeah, I think that feels like DRS has started to slow down just a little bit as well. They didn't get the deeper run that we saw in the beginning of the day from this team. Aurora, though, looking into playing a different tune here. They want to try and catch up with Kiroro. They can crunch him from multiple angles. Kiroro in trouble. The CQC, he tries to keep him alive. He does, but not for long here as Zeus finally chunks him down eventually.
Yeah, Kiroro just trying his best to get away the stealth bites, but Zeus was just way too close. And he had the Valiant Dash as well to just break down those defenses instantly to get another point for Aurora, who's definitely having a much better game here. But Team Apex Gaming up against your reigning defending champions of the Esports World Cup, Free Fire. Can we see India take down one of the most lethal squads out there? Aim God, the shield gun in hand. Won't be able to get aggressive just yet. Waiting for the rest of the team members to catch up as well. Wolven going in for the tags, but instead the reversal and the backup from the rest of the EVOS members puts him on the ground. Shoto's gonna get caught out here as well. It's a 2v1. Valiant Dash still keeping Shoto alive, but the numbers play will catch up, and a disadvantage for Team Apex Gaming here. Slowly the team crumbling, with the vending machine inside Sahiljat. Can he pull off some sort of a miracle here for the squad?
Yeah, but he's being marked by Rasha, who just desperately wants to take him down. Takes a little bit more damage here. It goes
Sahil Jad giving us some exciting tightrope walking survival plays off of the glue wall, just at the very edge of that platform there. But of course, he was Divine still with the advantage on the numbers. But what's important is the recovery play off of the Indian squad. He bought enough time for the survivors to scurry on away, pull in those revives. And we're going to get to see if or not Team Apex Gaming finds that full recovery later on. Aurora, on the other hand, on one of their better runs so far. The most number of eliminations Aurora has pulled from a lobby today has been 9. They're already at 8, and this game is still fairly early. Can they continue their run, or will they fizzle out? Demon's Pride again. Still no way whatsoever to recover their gameplay here as they're scrambled on the battlefield.
Jazzy taking a lot of damage as well. Limit putting in the damage. And there we go, Falcons. Clean up house there as well. Another point in the back for DP. Brought back into the game quickly. Somehow, I'm surprised the AGL with only one player left. I wonder what happened there.
Madara Aswab to C-Tech in the next Jara map. The Dinocularly on the hunt as they rotate around into Twin Bridge, looking for Intellect Center. It's a scramble from the very start. Holy
my
mama!
Gosh!
Rassia brought it to AGL. That's a deadly shot.
He did it twice! Unmoved, undeterred, cool, and collected. Look at his reaction.
I mean, being the first team to make it into the next circle, good on them, but scrambled from the very start. Holy
my
mama!
Gosh!
Rassia brought it to AGL. That's a deadly shot.
He did it twice! Unmoved, undeterred, cool, and collected. Look at his reaction.
I mean, that's the best way to take the number 1 spot. Take the guys out of the number 1 spot and move on into where they stand. But he was Divine, obviously. They need a few more points to climb the leaderboard. They were behind Buriram before the start of this match. Not by too many, of course. Catching up isn't going to be too impossible. Demon's Pride again. All their revives are just giving some extra bonus points to anyone that comes across them.
Yeah, TAG now in trouble as well. Burup United bringing his teammates back into the game. Katie got to stay alive, but this shot from Moshi, nothing crosses this guy. Gonna be able to confirm that elimination fairly cleanly. Shoto's close by, Sahil Jat and Wolvin around as well. And for Burup United, I'm wondering what the next steps are going to be. Are they gonna go clean up house, get the last few eliminations, or are they gonna go and prioritize the positionings instead? And from the rotations, they're gonna try and go northern side here because the circle did hard shift north side.
Damn, Moshi, you're good. The follow-up off of the Riptide Rhythm is too perfect. Timely. But now, Gun Dynasty scrambling for safety as Falcons go out on the hunt. Vega's gonna get tagged up, and Venus there for the finisher on the front lines, backed up by Limit. And the Riptide Rhythm causing a lot of chaos out here in the lobby, just not from one team, multiple squads depending on that Skylar. And we saw the perfection out of Moshi. Limit showing us that he can murk magic off of that as well. Shiru, Benel too far away from the vending machine. Shiru's going to be chased off of it as well. But Benel from afar with the strike of the VSK, finding the headshot. Deadly play from this guy. Knocks down Pina as well. And Benel single-handedly taking the fire up to Falcons. And that should be enough to contain the champions of EWC 24.
Should be able to bring back his teammate into the game as well. He kill, he heal, and he also eliminates players in this game. TAG once again brought back the teammates into the game once more as well. GG gonna launch themselves forward. Okay, this is gonna be interesting to be chased by E-Bots here.
Yeah.
Baxter's fine Shiru, there's some.
హలో శ్రీకాంత్ నేను కొద్దిగా బిజీగా ఉన్నా మళ్ళీ చేస్తా బిజీగా ఉన్నా కొద్దిగా చెప్పు నేను తర్వాత చెప్తా ఫోన్ మళ్ళీ చేస్తా
Timing, but Benel survives, which means Gun Dynasty gets to survive a little bit longer because the Super Survivor, Super Reviver will be on to his mission once again. FGL shot out. I've not seen a single narrow play after the nerf. Damn it, unfortunate we don't get to see those clutches.
They're coming through here. Aim got jump shots forward here, puts in that damage. But it's Abax that gets caught out by Pina first in the end. Falcons now 9 eliminations already. Aim God will be found as well. EVOS may have bitten more than they can chew. Ray barely alive right now, feeling the pressure coming in from the players from the other side there. Does find Pina in the end, but I don't think they can do more than that.
Falcons looking to make this their game of the day. Definitely their best run they've had in here so far. EVOS on the other hand, looking for that number 1 spot as they took out the team on that number 1 spot, AGAL themselves. But they're now on a recovery play. Apex on that revive. Falcons on the other hand. This definitely officially is one of their better games. Earlier on, they got 12 eliminations off of Solara, but only 5 placement points. They have to be careful because they were heated up on the Solara map as well, but dwindled down quickly when the circle was closing in.
It just seems like in this situation here, TAG stuck in the corner. Now looking at Falcons, they really took their time to come into the circle as well. Coming back to GD, David, Vega also getting knocked down already. Benel just waiting for the right timing here. Just pop up his hit, steal away those very nasty shots as he's been delivering toward this, I think, first side of the game, first part of the map, excuse me.
EVOS fully recovered already. Looking to take that number 1 spot by the very end of the day for Group A. Can the reigning defending champions find that full recovery for themselves? TC on the other hand, quickly trying to play the reposition. Paradox, one of the teams that have been struggling, but definitely doing better than TEC at this point of time. Taking TEC out of the equation here. Give them a slight boost, and it's definitely a fair fight between the two, but Nejad with the monster god name and going in for the finish here as well. Has got the electrotherapy connected to him, but can he get the job done?
Can't really get
Slows the pace down a tad bit, and that does not give them that advantage they wanted.
Yeah, they're forced to reposition, go down to the lower ground as well. This is a 3-way fight. GD is here, Paradox is here, TEC as well. But they're going to take this bit by bit. Decides to pick and fight TEC first. Blade coming in hot, has an angle to work with, but finally locked out of the angle. You have the time server online. Jedrick trying to find a different angle into the area. The inhaler keeps him surviving for quite some time. Snipe goes down, Kutush, huge for that as well. Even Denrick is found in this situation. Blade also decides to end Denrick's life in the end. And CEC, the players are just getting dropped left, right, and center. GD decides to join in the fight. Shiro here, found in the end, but DEC with the upper hand.
Big play there by a Blade. Phenomenal, and Benel is on it again. This guy is unstoppable on the revives. Definitely not the right kind of record to be holding on to because you know your team's getting tortured out there, but they're also picking up some big points. TC's out after that fantastic play. Shiru shut down by Moshi as he got revived, shot out of the air. And this is getting fairly dicey. Lightning Zone called out and Aurora in a pickle out in the open.
Arsenal reposition rushes away with their lives. Look at the amount of pressure they are feeling right now. Finally, in the green for something. No, has to wait this out. And if they do come in here, not too far of a jump, but it's okay. Gives a bit of space between them and the rest of the teams.
Holy mama. Gun Dynasty. Bloody impressive. So many times tortured, so many times losing their players. But the recovery as well as the dominance with the mechanical plays have been unbelievable. They sure as hell are on fire and even literally out there right now within the lobby. Can they pick up more for themselves? 15 eliminations and still going with 3 players still alive.
Here comes the wait. Jonah putting a bit of space between him and the rest of the team. Now gonna rush forward here. Aurora gonna take this fight, I think, head on against Buram United. They're so aware that they're very close by. They're, I think, pressuring them with the nades as real. A lot of damage taken. Zeus is barely alive right now. The rush forward is good. Get high, does find Azrael here somewhere. And Wasana, the jump shots are just nasty. Zones them away, chasing the rest of the team, but still not able to completely wipe them out of the map.
Yeah, big mistake there from the Malaysian squad. trickling in one after the other up against your world champs. That's just not gonna work out. This ain't no Bollywood movie. And the heroes, regardless whether or not it is a Bollywood movie, will always win out. And Buriram just that hero. Now the numbers disadvantage for Aurora. Buriram goes in for the finisher. Falling shot. Wasana and 590 perfection. Get high with the backup. And Wasana cleans up the house. Pulling away. 13 eliminations in totality. But now they're going to be pressured from the back. Gun Dynasty spotting them out. Loud's in the vicinity as well. And Demon's Pride surviving somehow and finding their way in here.
This is a really great round for them as well, surviving this long. And it's really exciting to see someone as aggressive as Jonah just really get up close and personal and just clean up the area. Shiru will be the one to go down next year. Falcons still putting in that pressure. The rotations are going to be very, very intense. Falcons does have a bit of a zone control to play with, but we are seeing GD come close.
It's Thailand versus LATAM. Who's gonna get that number one spot? Both Gun Dynasty and Buriram, full squad. But Gun Dynasty on that high ground, this can turn into a disadvantage. What is a massive advantage for them right now with a bird's eye view can turn it around instantly if someone gets the God nade. It's gonna be Benel taking Jazzy out of the side of Demon's Pride. A valiant run here for Demon's Pride is not gonna be good enough to break them out of the 12th spot just yet. As we're left with 4 squads in the final circle. Loud, still Loud out there looking for their third booyah of the day.
Doesn't it feel like deja vu how they have been able to hold on to this top side of this compound once again? Now Buriram United forced to just wait this out, taking a lot of damage from the players from the other side here. But Falcons want to go for this fight against GD. Can't do just that. So the most they can do right now is just wait out the utility, wait out the onslaught of bullets coming at them from different areas. Buriram United going to cross by, taking a lot of damage from the other team.
Yeah, big brain play, man. 3-time world champs for a good reason. Good call by Captain Jonah. The rotation is solid. They've got the compound cover and they will not get tagged up. And now they stand a good chance of walking away with the booyah here. It's all about positioning supremacy. And now the circle's going to be pressuring 2 teams. It's Falcons as well as Gun Dynasty. Gun Dynasty still on fire with the most number of eliminations in this lobby. Can they break the record set here by Buriram on Kalahari? 23 eliminations plus the booyah for 35 cracker points.
Yeah, they're forced out into the open where Falcons decide to take advantage of this situation. If you won't come to us, you will cross into our crosshairs. Falcons, clean up house. Gun Dynasty out of the game. We're down to only 3.
Falcons not even giving us a lot of time to think about what the answer for that question was going to be. They say, hell no, Mustachio. We take them out of the equation. Buriram though, still alive and kicking. But Loud, can they withstand this ambush now? Buriram taking the fight straight up to them. Valiant Dash still active on the side of Osana. And 590 looking for the connection. And he's also got the AWM. Takes the high ground advantage first. And Loud now left right behind them. What a rotation by Buriram.
Yeah, Buriram United is just so aware of how exactly things are going to go. Now they have a lot of space to work with. They're aware of where the players are going to be here. But Pina jumps through, lands the shot, not able to. And now they will take the fight too Loud. They're stuck, trapped, very, very low HP. Jumps away, the damage is there on fire. State is just so good. Trapped, gone down already. And Guaka as well. What are you going to do when you crash from so many different angles?
Taken out of the equation. Falcons, that was the Moco gameplay right there, giving them all the information they needed. And now it's gonna be your global finals champions taking on the EWC 2024 champs. And Buriram, Jonah shutting down Pina with the AWM up close and personal. Looking for the final play. Kororo looking for that recovery. And they won't be denied as Buriram pulls away the 3rd booyah of the day to take the #1 spot on the leaderboard.
It is incredible looking at Buriram United. Not only are they so confident playing with that playbook play, they don't have to really worry about anything. Positioning is key, and from that, the rest of the eliminations and the fights just flow to them as well. Patient as hell, and okay with giving away that space.
I didn't even look at the YouTube chat today, but I am damn sure, I am 300% sure everybody would have been saying, washout squad, Buriram can't do well, blah, blah, blah. We've heard their rhetoric so many times because they've started off the day with 13 points in game 1 at Bermuda, 12 points at Solara, but what a way to wrap up their 6th game. They broke their own record of 27 points at Kalahari. The match that we just saw ended on 5, and then here at Nextera, they cleaned up house as well for a back-to-back 3 Booyah Day to just show everyone that this time EWC championship is going their way. But it's not done just yet. It's just day one. This is just a preview of the first stage.
Yeah, and it's really exciting because you do this well on day one. You're gonna ride that high into day two.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you are going to put a big gap between, which allows you a bit more space to make some mistakes.
And you have to also acknowledge the fact that this was the group that was dubbed the group of
Yeah.
They have so many titans in here. And to clean up a lobby full of titans, I mean, mad respect to the 3-time world champs, man. 2 times they've been here already on the Esports World Cup stage. But maybe the previous time, the heat at Riyadh was just a tad bit too high. They did complain about the heat in Paris as well, but I'll have to say it's nothing compared to the desert sands of Riyadh.
Yeah, for real. As we come into this game as well, I think what's really exciting to see about them is the fact that not only are they the type of team that really took their time in map number 1, but you can start to see really amp and get more comfortable as most of these maps come by. You start to see Moshi, you start to see Jonah, you start to see Dwasana just really step up, able to take up space. And most importantly, there's a lot of support and trust with each other for them to really go all in on these fights.
Yeah, but I have to say, Falcons, man, what a game here on the final one at Nextera to pull away 22 eliminations. This was by far their best game of the day. I mean, prior to this match, the most number of points they pulled away was at Solara with 17 points, and their second best was just 13 points. But they just finished Nextera with a 31 bomber. So if you are a Falcons fan, this is exactly what you want for yourself, right? For them to show everyone that they're still alive and kicking. But I mean, am I sad for EVOS? Not really, right? Because at the end of the day, I think they still will be able to hold on to their top 4 spot. They didn't manage to wrap the day up with the Booyah. As a matter of fact, it's only the one that they pulled away at Solara that they looked the strongest on. Purgatory, I thought they were about to pull away a back-to-back, but, it just wasn't their day. We're gonna have a little interview here with the Buriram Esports player, so we'll throw you guys onto that. Tash and I will catch you guys tomorrow.
Hello everyone, we are back on stage. I'm Carol Bombshell and I'm happy to be here with this beautiful lady, Lacey. And we got Wasana from Buriram team here. Let's talk with him some very interesting things. Okay, so last year Buriram didn't perform as well as we expected, as the audience expected, and especially your own team at EWC 2025. How does this affect your team to come here this year?
ก็ใน EWC 2025 นะครับ performance ของทั้งของน้องวัฒนาฮะแล้วก็ทีมบุรีรัมย์เนี่ยค่อนข้างออกไปในทางด้านของน่าผิดหวังนะฮะไม่ว่าในเรื่องของ performance แล้วก็ทั้งตัวผู้เล่นเองแล้วก็หรือว่าทางผู้ชมก็ตามคิดว่ามันมีผลต่อ performance ของเราในปีนี้บ้างยังไงบ้างไหมฮะขออีกรอบได้ไหมครับ performance ของเราในปี EWC 2025 ครับผมมันค่อนข้างออกไปทางน่าผิดหวังนะฮะคิดว่ามันมีผลอะไรกับในปีนี้บ้างไหมฮะ
ผมว่าน่าจะตอนนั้นน่าจะแบบว่าเล่นไม่ได้เองเฉยๆครับแบบเหมือนยังอยู่ในช่วงที่แบบฟอร์มตัวเองไม่ได้ดีด้วยคิดว่าก็ถึงแล้วผมจำคำถามไม่ได้
Okay, let me repeat it again for you. No worries. ในปี EWC 2025 ครับผม performance ของทางน้องวัฒนาแล้วก็ในตัวทีมบุรีรัมย์เนี่ยฮะค่อนข้างออกไปทางน่าผิดหวังนะฮะคิดว่ามันมีผลอะไรบ้างกับปีนี้ครับ
สำหรับผมว่ามันก็แบบเหมือนตอนที่ช่วงที่เราพลาดก็มันให้ประสบการณ์กับเรามากกว่าครับก็มันทำให้แบบปีนี้เราโตขึ้นด้วยแบบมีประสบการณ์มากขึ้นว่าโอเคเราเล่นแบบนั้นไม่ได้นะเล่นแบบนี้ไม่ได้ใช่เหมือนแบบเป็นประสบการณ์ให้เรามากกว่าครับในช่วงที่แบบมันน่าผิดหวัง
Yeah, I think in EWC 2025 we are quite underperformance below our standard, but with that failure we study through it and we think that we study from the failure. That's what made it to EWC 2026 performance.
Wow, amazing. Great answer, Osana.
Well, I mean, you've turned things around now because let's forget about 2025 because we are here in 2006 and you guys have done such an incredible performance. Now, Wasana, I want you to talk us through match number 5 when your team was in a 1v1 against AGAL, probably your biggest competitor in this lobby. How did that make you guys feel?
ก็อยากสอบถามในแมตช์ที่ 5 นะครับในเกมที่ 5 ในตอนที่เราเล่นแข่งต้อง 1v1 กับตัว AGAL นะฮะตอนนั้นมีอะไรเข้ามาในหัวบ้างครับ
ก็แบบว่า มันไหลมาทั้งเกมนะครับ พอเจอไฟนั้นต่อให้แบบ เราจะเสียเปรียบตอนเหลือ 4-3 แล้วก็มุมกว่าด้วย ตอนนั้นไม่ได้คิดอะไรเลยเพราะว่าในทีมมันแบบใจมันกำลังมากันทุกคนเลย
Yeah, I think we just like go with the flow of the game, and it's like I think we have a better angle, so that's what lead to the final result.
Okay, amazing. Okay, Wasana, for us to finish, I'm very curious to know about the teams that have tracked you this today, because we have like top 5 teams in Group A that are doing very well, and I want to know which teams can be a threat for Buriram.
ก็ในผลของการแข่งขันวันนี้นะครับก็ท็อป 5 ตอนนี้เนี่ยก็ค่อนข้างผลออกมาค่อนข้างแบบว่าชัดเจนแล้วนะฮะคิดว่าในท็อป 5 เนี่ยครับทีมไหนเป็นทีมที่ค่อนข้างน่ากลัวที่สุดในมุมมองของบุรีรัมย์ครับ
คือสำหรับผมทีมไทยน่ากลัวหมดทุกทีมครับผมให้ทีมไทยเป็นเต็งหนึ่งทุกรายการเลยสำหรับผม
Yeah, in my opinion, every single Thai team in this tournament is like one of the scariest teams. So I would say like every Thai team.
ใช่
Only Thai?
เราด้วยครับ
Brazil! I knew it.
Well, I mean, look, all these teams have had an exceptional day today, but of course, you know, Buriram United, and we are here with Wasana, and you have showcased absolute brilliance throughout this entire match, and I feel like other teams should be scared. You should not be scared of any Brazil teams at this moment, you know, especially Loud. I know she's going to hate me after this one, but congratulations again on today's performance, and especially in that last match where you've just completely taken over, you know, the top of the leaderboard there. But I think, you know, we're going to get things off running. We're going to take a short little moment and, of course, be back with some more exciting Free Fire.
Human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
If there was any question, the reigning champions of the Free Fire World Series Global Finals 25 showed up today because they got 3 booyahs. Not just 1, not just 2, 3. Honestly, we were talking about consistency early on, right, Neptune? I don't think we were expecting this type of consistency.
I do agree. I mean, it's at some point, even in Southeast Asia, Buriram doesn't show up this much in the first day. But I think with the failure they have, and it was mentioned in the interview as well, they failed so many times before, and they don't want to risk it. They just want to bring the numbers. So that's a 3 out of 6 and a back-to-back to boot.
I mean, Husky, how are you feeling about this squad?
I think, you know, BRU, like Neptune has said, right, usually on day one, they are the slower team. They're the team that goes into the science lab, they do a bit of litmus test, figure out the variables, come up with a hypothesis, and then they figure out how to win from the day 2 onwards. But maybe because we only have 2 days of group stage, they decide to come in, you know, nitro charge, kick in the gear 5, and just take over the lobby, which brings me back to BRU back in 2022 at their prime, where every single round, they are always going all out.
And I'm gonna go with you this one, Lucifer, because Team Falcons, I mean, this squad didn't look like they were gonna show up today. And on the final game, they definitely showed up.
I think it took some time for them to recover in the earlier games while we ended up seeing Gun Dynasty. They picked up big time. I think out of the box of a surprise, Gun Dynasty and especially Penel, he went all out. We saw his amazing hits coming through. He was the storm today that nobody was prepared for.
And I'm looking at 5th place, Loud Snickers. I mean, they ended up with 2 booyahs, but being that many points away from Buriram, yeah, you are kind of close and you are outside of the top 4. Remember, the top 4 after tomorrow will be going directly to the Champions Rush Finals. how are we feeling about this squad?
I don't know. I mean, for loudspeakers, I think they have the numbers. They brought in the consistency. They can get, 3, if not 4 out of 6 games that they can get in top 12. It's more of the elimination that they're not getting. They are still playing it slow. And I was expecting in the beginning, yes, that was strategy. But even towards the end, because of how aggressive everyone is right now, the warm-up is over. Like, first 2 games, the warm-up is over, and they was just stunned. They don't know what to do because there's a lot of teams waiting for them to the final circle.
I mean, teams that needed to warm up but weren't really warming up how we expected them to are currently on the second page. Lucifer, we're looking at Team Epic's gaming. You're 43 points. Right now, I think they're going to have to start changing their mentality from going directly to the grand finals to now just wanting to go to survival.
I agree completely on that. I think Team Apex Gaming, they need that little momentum shift, which is not seen yet. But one thing did happen. There was a little surge that we ended up seeing where Shoto went on a head-on with Falcons, got that win. I think that has to happen a lot more frequent, and that is the reason when you asked me earlier, I was mentioning that Tag will pick it up, but doubtful if today, because it is not an environment that they're used to. So now that they've finally had a taste of the Esports World Cup stage, they might pick it up tomorrow and might have a small challenge towards the top 4.
Oh, I know. India, especially Tag fans. Tag on top would love that. And I mean, we're looking at Evils, the reigning champions at EWC. Husky, they started off hot and they were consistent, but they just weren't able to meet what Buriram was able to do.
Yeah, but I think, for a lot of Evil's fans, this is considered better than what we've seen in the past almost 1 full year since 2025. After they won Riyadh, they had quite the slump. They went through a lot of challenges, and we even heard them talking during the interviews that they're just trying to figure things out. They're trying out different styles. So we came into today not expecting Evils to do it that well. We were expecting them maybe to finish a top 6, and then maybe tomorrow they turn it up. But to finish in 4th place and have consistent booyahs, or at least getting one booyah, just one booyah, is already above beyond the expectations we have.
And it's kind of scary too, I mean, for some of these squads that are performing the way that they currently are. Because we talked about it earlier too, right? We talked about how some of these squads are just compacting and making sure that the top is very top heavy in regards to points. Sponging a lot of those points from the bottom teams. And somebody needs to do something tomorrow to make sure they stop them. We had one team with 3 booyahs. One team with 2 booyahs. And another one with 1. I mean, you need to find a way to get those booyahs.
The thing though, despite of not getting booyahs, we're looking at Gun Dynasty as well as AJAL. I mean, no booyahs, no problem for the moment, for this stage, because they have been consistent in getting all those eliminations, especially with Gun Dynasty. They have been proactive every time, every match, and even if there's a risk, they have already stacked up a lot of those eliminations already and all those points. This first 6 games, that I think they're risking, like they can risk at least 1 game to go down, and then following, they will still have that top.
Yeah, I think even coming into this, right, the meta has shifted more towards prioritizing sniper players. We've seen the ability Skylar and Morse being more of the popular ones, and we have some great standout sniper players today. Benel from Gun Dynasty, Limit X7 from Team Falcons, Moshi, of course, from BRU. Rasha is on his game today, and a lot of these highlight clips actually came from these sniper players.
I know you've been wanting to talk about this squad, and I'm so glad you guys joined me, especially you too, Lucifer. By the way, for everybody paying attention, we are changing people around, and don't worry, Lucifer and Husky will still be around because they're actually going to get to cast on this second series that's going to be coming up. Make sure you stay tuned. We're currently just wrapping up here Group Series 1, which was none other than Group A. Any surprises, right? You talk about AG. We've talked about maybe Falcons being able to step it up, and we talk about Tag not really being able to wake up. Whether it's good or bad, I want you to tell me one team that surprised you, and it's okay if it's bad.
I think, to be honest, Gun Dynasty is something that everybody is winging for, because none of us thought that they will be going outright like that, coming out from Latam and now picking up pace like this against Gens from the Southeast Asia. They've done big, and especially this group was most of the toughest teams out there in the lot of the 24, and they've been the biggest surprise. And adding on to that of how loud they've gotten their booyahs and how they've been on a stretch starting off in the very first game, I think that's where we have those highlights and surprises on day 1 itself.
Yeah, for everybody currently watching, I want you to keep in mind, top 4 will be moving to the finals tomorrow. An extra 6 matches here for Group A. But this is what I'm talking about. That group heavy. How that top is just going to be sponging up those points. You can start seeing now a bit of the discrepancy, even though we'll have 6 more games. Now, one team from you that you were kind of surprised whether it was good.
I gotta talk about Aurora Gaming, right? Malaysia, it's the last time a Malaysian team has been on the international stage was 4 years ago, back in Free Fire World Series in Bangkok, Thailand. And ever since then, we have missed out even in regional tournaments. So to make it back onto the world stage at EWC 26 and the first appearance for them as well is a big moment for Malaysia. Of course, you can see the jitters in them. There were definitely some moves that even I was questioning, like, what are we doing here? But I believe in them, right? I think Aurora is a team that even if they don't make it to the finals by tomorrow, they will have a decent chance in survival.
Okay, well, hey, tomorrow, if you want to be able to even go to survivals, make sure you wake up. You could see it. You could hear it in the background. And those are the loud fans starting to get ready, because that's right, ladies and gentlemen, Group B is going to be coming up. So stay tuned, because you're actually seeing out your casters. And thank you so much, boys, for joining us. I appreciate it. Lucifer, Neptune, you gotta be stuck with me the whole time. And Husky, make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back.
What would you do with $75 million?
I would travel the world, I would invest. I know a bit of a boring answer. And I would help people when I can. I'll buy things for my family.
A house for my mom. Yeah. Invest so I keep some money for the future.
Everyone's just out here saying, oh, I'd spend it on my family. I would invest it smartly in smart enterprises. We need Americans, because Americans will come out here and be like, I buy 10 Ferraris, bruh. What if I say that I think you're lying?
I don't know. Do you think I'm lying?
Yes. The first thing that you're gonna do is buy all of the jerseys from your favorite players. I think you're gonna buy 10 fancy cars and go crazy.
Okay, I'm lying.